Today, I'm going to walk you through how we closed 2.17 million in 24 hours. This is a live event sales strategy. I'll walk you through literally every single thing there. Okay. So basically, we had a room of 650 people that attended in person. We closed 217 of them on a 10K ticket. It was a real estate coaching offer. So this was one of our clients. Now, that's basically a 33% close rate on a high ticket offer in person. Typically, just to put that in perspective, promoters close anywhere from 10 to 15% of the attendees in the room. Okay. So that's like more than double what average people do normally. Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the entire playbook on how we basically achieve this outcome. Okay. This was not blocked. This was planned like months in advance. Now, what we're going to cover basically is going to be three parts. So the pre-event preparation and the ticket sales, the on-site sales process and team management, and then the post-event results, economics, and key takeaways. First thing, the pre-event preparation and ticket sales. By the way, just to mention, I had nothing to do with the marketing. Okay. So marketing department was like fucking dialed in for this event. Okay. But basically we spent $300,000 in ads. The ads were leading to a 5-day challenge to sell tickets. Okay. So at the end of the 5-day challenge, we were selling tickets. Okay. Then post challenge, there was a free webinar. Again, this was literally just to sell tickets. On top of that, we had sales reps. After we had the challenge, after we had the webinar, we had a sales team just dialing people that opted in, that attended the webinars, maybe signed up for the webinars, maybe they signed up for the challenge, did not buy the ticket yet. So we had sales reps hammering the phone to sell tickets as well. We sold another 100 tickets to commission only sales rep, dialing them. Okay. Now, in terms of pricing, general admission, we're going for pre-sale at 400, and then they could have like a buy one, you get the second one, like with a discount. So it was about $300 the second one. And then like the normal price is like $650, $700. From there were two iron hand options as well, $1,000 and $5,000 tickets for VIPs, more access, private dinner, better seats, like at the table, front row, time of the speakers, like all that good stuff basically, right? So in terms of the funnel, just to walk you through, guys, how we did that. Okay. So it was about 3 weeks of campaign, $300,000 in ad spend. People were opting in, and there was, of course, an SMS sequence that went and pushed to the 5-day challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, 1 hour per day. And I think on the third or the fourth day, we started pitching the event details, the tickets, all that live with the influencer. Okay. After that, a couple days later, there was a free webinar, again, to sell the vehicle, sell on the opportunity, and then sell tickets to the event. That was the CTA. And then once all of that was done in parallel, we had for 3 to 4 weeks, we had commission only sales reps that were in charge of dialing the people that registered / attended the challenge, and same thing with the webinar to try to sell tickets to the event. Okay, so that was pretty much the marketing funnel behind it. Again, that was the marketing team, really dialed in marketing team. That was like a huge key to the success here of the event. Now from there, in terms of the pitch structure, okay, so it was a Russell Brunson perfect webinar structure. It was about 45, 60 minutes as far as the pitch. There was a bunch of bonuses to our regular offer. So our regular offer is 10K, it's a year, all that good stuff. But there was a couple bonuses that were just attended for people that signed up at the event, okay, on the spot, just to create FOMO for people to buy it and not like say, oh, I'll buy it later, the program, all that stuff, okay? And there was urgency as well. The first 20 people to sign up had some additional bonuses like the VIP, like dinner, pictures with the influencer on stage, and other things as well that I can't recall. But just a bunch of stuff that creates FOMO, creates urgency, right, to go and buy on the spot. In terms of the sales team breakdown, we did not build like another team for this, okay? So we had our evergreen sales team that was already selling for the company. So we had 5 setters, 5 closers. All of them were sales reps at the event. So we had 10 reps in total, all had the same role at the event. Now, another thing, if you run an in-person event, what I'd recommend is to have your sales rep be identified, not a sales rep, okay, but with a different color shirt so that people can like identify them easily. And what we had, like, it was in French, but like advisor, that's how I'd call them. And then on top of that, we hired a few phone sales reps to sell more tickets over the phone. Those were like just on short-term contracts, okay? In terms of comps, the ticket sellers were paid 15% on the tickets sold. So it was pretty much gravy for the company to have those tickets sold. And then the in-person sales rep, they were all paid the same thing. The challenge was to find a compensation plan that would incentivize basically teamwork and also have a little bit of competition. And it was hard to track and know who made what sales too. So I'll walk you through like how we did that. But basically everyone was comped the same thing, and it was like a tiered level basically. So if we sold X amount of units, then everyone got X $1,000, right? If we sold another level, let's say we hit 100 units, then they all get an additional X amount. So we were all incentivized to make more sales and help each other out, get some deals over the line. Now, how we created some competition, basically the 3 top reps with the most deal closed or attributed to them, they would get a free all-inclusive trip to Cabo for a week. We had a company retreat like a month later with clients and all that stuff. So they would get like a free trip there, and that was worth $3,000 per ticket. Now, how we track the amount of units sold, that was a bit of a challenge. And and created a little bit of friction. But essentially, every time that we would have someone close at the table, and I'll go over like how we process payments and all that, but every time we close someone at the table, the support person at the table would ask them, okay, who helps you? Again, that would also incentivize a good service, so that if 2 or 3 people like talk to that person, then they recall the name of the person that helped them the most. So that's kind of how we went about it. And then it would do like a tally and put the initials of the rep on it, and then we would count them at the end of the event, right? So that's for part number 1. Now, something side note, okay, if you are watching this video and you are a setter, a closer, or maybe a manager and you're watching this video, I'll drop a link in the description below for you to apply to work with us on one of our teams. Click the link in the description, apply, and we'll review your app. And once we're hiring, then we'll hit you up if you are qualified and if you fit the role. Going back to the video now. Part 2, the on-site sales process and sales team management. So first of all, I'll walk you through like the outline. Again, the way this event was structured, shout out to the CEO. He followed kind of like the structure of the ClickFunnels like events, okay? How they go about it, the hype, like the order of sequence. And the sequence of the presentations were like really key in us having success in the pitch. So essentially, before I kind of unblock this so that you guys can see I don't want to lose anyone, basically day 1 was really like purely value based. A lot of our coaches from inside the program and the expert would give value on the vehicle of real estate, basically just selling people on the opportunity. So that was the Friday. The event was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now on Saturday, leading to the pitch, the talks were a bit more going slowly transitioning from like the value on the real estate and the vehicle to like entrepreneurial based, taking risk, betting on themselves, right? And then also success stories of clients that worked with us in their transformation, where they started, where they're at, giving prizes, things like that right before the pitch. Then the pitch happened at the end of the second day on that Saturday. Sunday was the third day, and that was our last kind of day to sell tickets. So that's kind of like the brief outline. Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., welcoming attendees. The door would open at 9 a.m., and that's when the event would start. Whole day, like I said, real estate specific content, selling them on a vehicle, giving them value strategies, and then 6 p.m. was the end of the first day. Now, day 2, this was the big day where we had the pitch. 8 a.m., welcome attendees, 8:45, doors open, 9 a.m., event starts. And from 9 to 4, again, was on real estate and then slowly entrepreneurship, taking risks, and start planting that seeds of like taking the leap. There was some people that were already in real estate, but majority of them were looking to start. So it was more like the 0 to 1 crowd. Okay. So selling them on the vehicle and then kind of taking that leap of faith on themselves. 4 to 5 was kind of like the big time where we wanted everyone in the room. That's when the pitch happened. 45 to 60 minutes. This is where we had the pitch, call to action. Then it was a cocktail, VIP dinner for people that bought the offer and VIP ticket holders. And on Sunday morning, basically we welcomed the attendees. Then something that was really key is sitting down with the influencer before him going back on stage that morning, just to go over the rebuttals. So after we had a few syncs, okay, throughout the event between the sales team, and after the pitch, there was some common questions, objections, concerns, and we wanted to kind of cover those, but from the influencer in a one-to-many capacity to help us the most. So I sat down with the influencer, went over all the objections, the concerns, basically like the frequently asked questions, and basically we crafted rebuttals and prepared him, rehearsed as well. And then at 9 a.m., he did 1 hour on stage, literally one too many, answering common questions, misconceptions, overcoming objections with soft CTAs. Basically, the final pitch was at 12. So the talks that we had here were all mindset based, okay? So all about fears, all about overcoming ourselves, becoming the best version of ourselves, to have that final stretch, that final push to get people over the line as far as them making a decision. And at 12 p.m., we had the last call, final repitch with a CTA to go at the back of the room to take us up on our offer. And then from 1 to 5 p.m., it's just basically presentations from various entrepreneurs. Okay, so this was essentially the setup. That was the room. You can see like there was the outside area. Those were the doors. You had the stage here. You had the VIP tables. Then again, cannot get bothered with putting chairs, but those were all general admission chairs, bunch of rows there. So this was about 650 people. Then we had a sales table at the back of the room. That was for all the transactions and closing people. And then we have our 10 reps here. So when the event started, this is where the sales process kind of started. You have to think that all those people come to an event to get value. So they already paid for hotels, travel. They already paid a couple $100, some of them $1,000, a few thousand for the tickets as well. So you don't want to be salesy by any means, okay? Remember, we have about 10 reps. There's 650 people. We have support staff and all those things. But the whole goal of the 10 sales reps leading to the pitch here is just to build relationships with people and also getting to know people. Here, welcoming attendees, like in the beginning, again, in the morning when people would join, start kind of the discovery process, right? So individually, one by one, coming up and say, hey, like, what's your name? Where are you from? Okay, what's the goal of you like attending this? Like, what made you want to come here? there. Again, it's a real estate event. So, oh, you're looking to get started. How come? What's pushing you? What's motivating you right now to do that? Just light discovery, being interested in people. And then slowly, like on the second day, when we had conversation, we're just hinting, why have you not started real estate, for example, like where you at with this journey? And people are like, oh, I'm stuck. I don't know where to start. Then just like kind of hint at them. It's like, well, you should like really like listen tightly to the last presentation. If we were on Saturday, like today, if we were on Friday, like tomorrow, and really just started hinting at the fact that there would be maybe something that would help them there, right? So not telling them they're going to be pitched anything, but, oh yeah, you should listen to this talk. He's going to touch on this, on how to get started and really help you. Basically, the whole time, what I was doing, just managing the team, is making sure that when we were on breaks, the reps were not talking between each other, but they were all spread out and talking to people, engaging with people, building relationships, getting to know people's story, and start building a bit of a gap. As far as the pitch goes, it was the perfect webinar from Russell Brunson, really well crafted by the team. We had a solid offer as well. Basically, the whole webinar was like, okay, where would I start from zero? Laying out like step by step, like over 8 steps, I believe, how you would get started, what he would do. And so it was really value based. And then also this would help us insert like the things that were done for you in our offer, the things that we supported with the pitch. It was a big value stack like Ormozy does on his webinar, for his book launch. Call to action was to push people to the back of the room. Okay, so we had people that were giving away pamphlets, basically just little cardboard with the details they offer, them to be able to fill out their card details on there. We had some volunteers giving that away while the pitch was happening or at the end of the pitch. Then call to action, go back at the room if you want to sign up. There was the bonuses. There's some people that started running. So all the sales rep were kind of spread around here. As far as the Sunday, throughout the FAQ was like very soft CTA, but basically was answering questions. And again, I was telling him, just funnel them to us, okay? And we'll handle the rest. It's just much easier for us. So basically whatever he was doing is like, if you're stuck, you don't know, maybe you doubt, go at the back of the room, and just pushing us people so that we could get them over the line, basically. So that's kind of how the event went. Now I'll go over the on-site sales process just to break that down for you guys. Basically, we had about 10 sales reps. We had about 6 support staff behind the table to help complete the forms, okay? We had the sales reps here. The sales process was pretty simple, okay? So the sales reps were having convos with them. As far as the conversation goes, again, a lot of the heavy lifting was done with the pitch. People were coming with their cards. Some of them were like ready to go, okay? So it just go to the table and the support staff would help them fill out their cards. So give them their t-shirts and all that good stuff and complete the transaction. So the reps were having the convos. Once the person said, yes, I'm ready to go, I want to start, they would bring him to the table and then there would be a handoff to the support person to complete the form with them, complete the transaction, and then the rep would go on and can go to talk to someone else. That was basically it. Now from there, how people close like logistically was a form and was a 10K offer. Now for the event, we're just taking down 1,000 or 2.5K down, and then they would give the form. Then from there, at the end of the day, we process the payments, okay, on the processor. So someone from our team would literally take all the forms, compile all the sales, and add the card details, all that to Stripe, and process all the down payments. Now the week after, this is when we process the rest. So all of the people that signed up and we process a down payment would get a phone call from our team. That would be the support staff just to complete the enrollment, book their onboarding calls, and then from there, looking with them how they would like to proceed with the rest. Would they want to do a payment plan? Or are they going to pay in full the amount, over how long, and all of that. Now, as far as like the real-time management, throughout the event, we had a few syncs, okay? So throughout the day, when there were the talks happening, that's when the sales team would get together and see like where we're at, questions they had, what's coming up next throughout the day. We'd have a huddle at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day as well. Basically, what we were doing in terms of rooms when the pitch were happening, we're kind of like scraping the room little by little, because what happens in an in-person event, yes, you'll have some people that will rush to the table, and then you'll have people that will be sitting at their chairs, at their table. They'll be literally staring at the paper that you gave them, and they'll be like questioning their entire life. They'll be like, oh, what should I do? And they're hesitating. Once we cleared like this area of people that were coming to us, then our goal was basically to work our way through the room, okay? So kind of scrape like row by row, like people that were sitting, and just like very nonchalantly was like, hey, I see like you're still there, you're looking at this, you have any questions? Are you thinking of joining or not? Like, what's on your mind? From there to be like, oh, I'm not sure this is for me because of X, Y, and Z. And then we just have conversations, like no like high pressure tactics or anything like that, but just like answering their questions, maybe reassuring them. I'd just go and grab people that were kind of looking at their paper, and then I would find a rep that I could just like pass them off. I would kind of like set them up basically just for alley oops. Again, we leveraged the shit out of the people, the support staff, just to help us like push people through with the forms, and then we could go and talk to more people basically. So that's pretty much it on how that went. Now, something that's pretty interesting, we close about 40% on the first day. The rest were all the second day. Okay. So after that, there was the cocktail. So at the cocktail, we're like subtly just talking people, planting seeds, seeing where people are at. A lot of people wanted to, maybe their partners were not at the event. They wanted to talk to their partners between the two, maybe sleep on it, right? And come back the other day based on what the next day brings. Just make a decision there. And then 60% of our sales happened that day between the 9 a.m. and this time. That's the other time that this happened. In the morning, again, we're just having conversations here, just outside of the room, like, oh, did you join? Awesome. Congrats. Welcome to the family. Answering questions. Maybe some people had questions for us, people like that the reps talked to the day before and they had relationships with built. Then the people would come back to them and like, all right, I'm ready to sign up. So that's kind of how that went. By the way, if you're a coaching business that does 150K plus per month consistently, and you want a sales team that can execute at this level without you having to be involved day to day, click the first link in the description below, apply, and see if you're a fit. Going back to the video, part 3, the key results, the key takeaways, the final tally of the results, just so that you can see the economics. So we spent $300,000 in marketing. The event costs, the logistics, the food, the reps commission, the venue, like all that stuff was $200K. Now the revenue from the ticket sales, from the upsells, when people buying like $1,000, $5,000 tickets, the regular ticket holders, was about $400,000. We almost liquidated the cost of the event just with the ticket sales. Now attendees, we had 650 people. We closed 217 people, and the revenue from the high ticket sales was 2.17 million. Okay, so pretty much 100K cost to do this, and then the rest was all gravy, and there's just a cost to fulfill on the back end for the company, right? We closed 33% of the room. The offer price point was 10K, and then again, we collected 1K to 2.5K on site, and the rest was done the week after. So some paid in full, some did some payment plans after that. So that's pretty much it. Now we did also some post-event follow-ups. Okay, so the people that did not close, we were still like hunting them after to try to get them over the line. Now, truthfully, the people that did not buy, with the amount of energy, the amount of momentum that was at the event, and all that FOMO as well from the bonus, like all the CTAs, all those things, those deals were like pretty much dead. We had a few sales trickle in afterwards, but yeah, that was like really challenging. There was a couple factors here that were helping with the success. So the first thing I'd say is a dialing marketing strategy. Okay, without it, the room would have been empty. 2, meticulous pre-event preparation. So that was about 80% of the work. Number 3, having a compelling offer and pitch and a clear, irresistible offer. Without those things, you can have the most dialed in sales team. You're not going to do those numbers. Okay, so those were like really important. The 4th thing, a really professional sales operations. So this was the foundation, the prep, the management on site, and how we handle the conversations, how we were spreading out across the room, building the relationships as well. So again, treating it like as a system, and then the execution, the team having high caliber reps as well. Now, who should use the strategy? This is not for everyone. This is going to work best if you already have a high ticket offer that's proven. Just for context, we're already doing on the evergreen, like paid ads funnel, we're already doing 400, 500K a month with about like a 5 to 10x ROAS. We were already successful. The offer was already dialed in and validated with the product market fit, and the sales team was already converting at a high percentage. Also, you need to be able to have dialed in marketing, and you can gather people in one place in person. Okay, so you need to be able to do that. And then also founders that understand the value in investing in a professional like sales operation. So this is for who that is, right? As far as the biggest lessons, there's a few. So having the support staff to handle the end of the closing to free up the reps as fast as possible, that was like super key. Having the support staff like behind the table here, that was like really key to the success. Okay, so 60% of the deals closed were closed on the second day. Okay, so that marks the importance of the objection handling within it on Sunday morning, and then also the re-pitch at 12 p.m. Okay, so the second day was like really crucial for us to hit those numbers. Now, the other thing I would say is the way you structure your event, like what presentations are happening the day before the pitch, the day of the pitch, post-pitch, between like the re-pitch and the pitch, just super key to increase the conversion rate. And that's what the founder did very well for this event, is how each speakers and keynotes were engineered in the right order to help us with the conversion at the time of the pitch and the key times to help the conversion essentially. And the last thing, the sales process started day one subconsciously from the start, from the first interactions with people. That's when we kind of started building the gap there. Okay, so those are the key lessons here that helped us get $2.17 million in sales in 24 hours in a live event. To recap, one of our sales team closed $2.17 million in 24 hours at the live in-person event. So we prepared for weeks in advance. We ran a tight sales process on site. We managed in real time the team, okay, and gave feedback, plan, and we followed up strategically afterwards. This resulted in 217 new high-ticket clients on a 10K offer out of 650 attendees. Okay, so that's a 33% close rate. So if you are a coaching business that consistently does over 150K plus per month, and you're looking for a sales team that can execute at this level, whether for an in-person event or maybe you have virtual events, your evergreen webinars, you name it, if you're looking for some help there, just click the first link in the description below, learn more, apply, see if you're a fit, and I'll see you over there.